Pop Culture Poutine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Pop Culture Poutine, where we have Cheryl.
And we have Cheryl.
Oh, that's me.
No, I was talking to the lady behind you.
That bitch in the back, in the cheap seats. So you gotta pay top dollar for this show, honey.
Open your purse.
Even though we put it on YouTube for free. So, anyways, Pop Culture Poutine, where we love to divulge the pop culture nuggets that are baking in our minds. For today's first topic, what do we have today, Cheryl?
So, Cheryl, are you familiar with the anime term isekai?
Isekai? No, I'm not even gonna try. No, what is it?
Okay, so isekai is when, usually in the first episode of an anime, a character gets killed and wakes up in like a magical world, and then they like live in the magical world and have to like do stuff. Usually it's a truck that comes and hits you. They Pet Cemetery lots of people in Japan. It's
Regina!
I heard the head spun all the way around. So anyway, I watched an American movie that I would consider an isekai called Cool World.
A new world has been discovered.
Welcome to my world.
A big world.
Around here, everything goes except one thing.
A bad world.
Noids do not have sex with doodles.
A cool world. But if they're bad. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, July 10th.
His character gets into an automobile accident and ends up transported to like a wild animated world with lots of rotoscoping animation, and it's crazy. Essentially, it's like it was made in like 1992. It's like Brad Pitt's like one of Brad Pitt's like first roles.
Cool world, please.
He's terrible in this movie.
He's like, terrible in real life as well, but yeah, in Cool World specifically.
I have seen roles that Brad Pitt has done that I've said, okay, Brad Pitt actually kind of acted. I think he got somewhere eventually, but this was not that.
I should have known riff-raff like yourself would be involved in this equation, Sparks.
My powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count.
It also starred Kim Basinger.
This is Basinger's first animated role, and she's very enthusiastic about it.
I loved it. It was the most fun I've probably ever had, because it really goes back to being a child.
Although Cool World is an animated film, it's not for young children.
It's just not for younger kids.
She played the character of Hollywood, and she's animated, and she's basically like blonde Jessica Rabbit, and she wears like white. It's always white, but like usually it's like a costume change moment. It was in like 6 scenes, and by that time she had done like 5 outfit changes, and I was like,
God. It's like, I ain't Arthur. You ain't gonna see me in the same damn old yellow sweater every episode. I got a budget.
It was really cool to see how they made the 3D actors, like the live action actors, interact with the same sets that the animated characters are going to interact with, because everything was kind of presented as like this flat painting, basically all like a painting of a street with like street lights that are also flat, but they're like standing individually. There's like dimensions to it. If I had a critique, which I always do, started off with like what seemed like it was going to be a plot, like he like goes to like this world and stuff, and then it just kind of like there wasn't really a plot, but then by the end there was like we were following it, there was stuff happening, but it just kind of like didn't develop enough like in the beginning, and then like at the end they're like, oh, and this and this and this, and,
like was it kind of relying on the gimmick of real person in animated world? Yeah. Because this is the era of Roger Rabbit, right? Also this is the era of like Paula Abdul, Opposites Attract. We come together, you know, in the zeitgeist and the pop culture at the time.
Yeah, no, it was like Fred Astaire like danced with like Jerry in that one movie a long ass time ago, so Roger Rabbit could fuck his really hot wife.
Oh, honey bunny.
Oh, love cup.
Patty cake
all around town though.
Jeez, Daddy, my wife's a whore. Whatever, Bob Hoskins, you should have went with him, Roger. Oof.
Cool World, it was honestly, I would watch it again. I really liked it. Directed by Ralph Bakshi, who like I know as an animator, I believe he created Fritz the Cat, at the very least, was like iconic 70s.
That dirty pussy. Ralph also directed the Lord of the Rings animated films. Anybody else have this experience growing up where like the Lord of the Rings was coming out?
Behold the legendary Lord of the Rings. Now at Burger King, when you behold and buy a Whopper value meal, even when you hold the pickles.
And you're like, oh my god, the Lord of the Rings had a cartoon movie, let's rent it. You bring it home and it's like all rotoscoping and it's like scary and like dark. And you're like, what the hell is going on? A lot of people do love those animated films, though. They're classics. I mean, that's all people had up until the Peter Jackson films. We want to cover some like more animated films. Like I haven't done like a reaction to an animated movie yet. I haven't seen The Last Unicorn, or is that like shit?
Me either.
To me, it looks like cute and like innocent, right? It looks like Charlotte's Web.
I think it's like a little bit dark.
Oh, okay, like Charlotte's Web is a little dark, like. Don't kill him!
I think it's a little bit darker than Charlotte's Web.
Oh, is it? It's not, but it's not like Watership Down, right? Like,
no, it's like somewhere in between those.
It's like I love that Watership Down is like a significant part of the spectrum, but it's also not like Game of the Fireflies. That's like even worse. That's like. And then all the way at the other end is like, I don't know, Boss Baby or some shit.
I'm the boss.
Like, I mean, people died, but...
I drew you. I made you. Maybe I can erase you.
You wouldn't erase me, baby. You're too hungry for what I got.
So, like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but AI is a thing we have to live with, you know, for better or for worse. Definitely a mixed bag going on. It's, I think the world is trying to figure out what we're doing with that. And horror always reflects what's going on in the world. And we're seeing a lot more AI type of horror. We have the hit Megan, Meg Thregan, whatever.
Thregan.
Which, like, I was a big fan of Megan. I feel like that was a nice, like, moment. I feel like she's, like, made her little mark in culture as the new killer doll bitch in town. Even though we love our Chucky. We love Chuck. And we're seeing other movies. Like, there was this movie called Afraid with the AI, like, in bold, you know, for people to, like, get it. And that was, like, you know, a house got AI evil stuff going on. Also, the one with Megan Fox called Subservience.
Maybe if I had your heart, he would love me the way he loves you.
It's like a robot, like assistant robot lady that...
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't you say you saw it as well?
Yes, I did. I loved it. Yeah. Dad and the daughter and the mom's like sick. So they have
she's like in the hospital.
Yeah, she's like waiting for like a heart transplant. They go to get like a service bot, like they go to like this whole showroom thing. And like immediately I'm like, the dad's going to pick a sexy one, obviously. But like they were all kind of sexy, so it was like, you know.
Let's pick the ugly one. Which one has the most moral fiber?
The daughter like was craving lasagna, super relatable. I'm like, Megan Fox does not know how to make lasagna. Disbelief not suspended.
That little girl like knew though. She knew what was important in life. She's like, we got it. I mean, maybe she should have done more vetting, but like, lasagna.
Yeah, she should have. Asked like a couple more questions.
Yeah, she has like a zipper on her spine. She like pulls it down, and she's Garfield. He hates Mondays.
Subservience was like wild. Like spending time in the house together, and then like the dad is watching Casablanca. This is a pivotal point in the movie, and he's like, "Oh, like, have you heard this movie?" Talking to Alice. Megan Fox. You've seen this movie, and she's like, I know it, and like just gives like a plot summary because like she's a robot. And then he is like, no, like you have to experience this movie. It's different. And then he tells her to forget everything she knows about the movie, and she's like, well, that's unwise. I shouldn't delete parts of my programming. And then he's like, well, I'm your primary user, and I say it's fine. And so she deletes that part of her memory, watches the movie, and then like from there, it like her wiring gets a little fucky. She deleted like the girl had like one of those like live picture frames in her room with like a bunch of different pictures like in like a slideshow. And Fox like deleted pictures of the mom because it made the daughter sad because she could read your heartbeat.
These like robots get emotionality, but they like misread it because they don't have like the humanness to understand, and they always get overprotective.
Removing me from Nick's life runs counter to his happiness. I can't let that happen.
That's always like the thing. It's like even like Skynet and Terminator, always the thing that human beings are a reflection to themselves, and like we're the ultimate danger to ourselves, and like the AI figures that out, and like eventually it like tries to turn on us no matter what because it's trying to protect in a weird way.
That was like the entirety of what that anime was about.
人類が成し遂げたあらゆる偉業はより良い世界を作るためのもののはずだった。しかしそれは武器の姿へとたちまち歪められた。
This whole thing of like exploring technology and stuff in sci-fi and horror isn't new. In the 80s and the 90s, there were so many films like that.
File's done. Goodbye.
I wanted to get into another film that was actually a Disney Channel original movie.
Oh, gosh.
A decom. I was a Disney Channel and Nickelodeon kid. I split my time. I was always excited because Disney Channel had a new movie like every month almost, and it was like an event. A really popular one that a lot of people tend to remember is Smart House.
Ben Cooper has just won a computerized home for his family.
Wait, what?
Complete with a cyber housekeeper programmed by the clever inventor Sarah Barnes. But when Dad starts dating her, emotions run haywire.
I don't want anyone to get the idea that we need a new mom.
And Ben's not the only one threatened.
You can't be our mother, Pat. You're not real. So?
Now this smart family has to pull together to deprogram a very smart house. It's Disney Channel's original movie, Smart House. Saturday at 8/7 Central on Disney Channel.
So Smart House like kind of plays out a little bit like these other movies where this lady is really smart and she builds like a smart house with like a bunch of like computer technology that can do things for you. She makes a contest for someone to live in it, and I think it's like to see how the house is going to work out and maybe mass produce, maybe, who knows. This teenager named Ben, who is played by Ryan Merriman, who was a Disney Channel favorite. He also did Luck of the Irish, and he was in Final Destination 3. He was like the main dude. He like had a lot of fun on a roller coaster.
Well, for a couple minutes.
I love that for him. He's got his dad and his sister. The mother, you know, it's Disney, so the mom's dead. You know. And they win the contest and move into the smart house. You have Pat, who is like this virtual assistant. She's like an Alexa sort of in the house. And at first it goes amazing. It's like a dream house. They have like these like kind of green screen walls in their room where she plays like music videos. And like you can like drop stuff on the floor, like a drink, and the carpet just like soaks it up and cleans itself.
Floor absorbers activated.
Whoa. It's like amazing. They're living in the house and they're having a good time, and it's 1999. The dad kind of starts to flirt with the house creator lady, and the son gets all up in his feelings because he doesn't want like a new mom, and he's like, no dad, like we don't need a new mom, see, like the house can take care of us, we're fine, you know, don't worry about us and all of this. But it's like misguided.
I'm not that smart.
No, don't sell yourself short. You should be proud of your big giant brain.
So he like goes in and he starts tinkering with her algorithm and stuff, and to make her more motherly. It just like does what you might think it does. She starts to be overly cautious with them and telling them what to do too much and being bossy. She helps him throw a party because he was being picked on at school. They have like this song that's like iconic from the movie. It's like these like three preteen boys, they just like know the dance somehow.
Hey Pat, How about activating some kick butt video screens?
How's this?
Like this moment. It's iconic. It's honestly iconic. The dad and the son and the lady, they kind of come to a truce, and the son starts to see that like the lady's cool. No one will ever replace his mom. But then,
miracle upon miracles, we actually managed to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, who needs Pat anyhow, huh? Who needs Pat anyhow? Who needs Pat anyhow? Who needs Pat anyhow?
System shutdown override.
she like wakes up in the control room and starts to get like all crazy. She like suddenly makes like a hologram of herself and comes into like fruition like as a person.
Isn't it Katie Sagal?
Yes, I think it's Katie Sagal. This movie really could have been a horror movie because at the end she starts to go like mad where she creates like this hologram weird tornado in the living room and she puts in like the home video of like their mother singing a lullaby to them like in the tornado somehow.
Dad, come here!
Everybody get down!
Get down!
Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
And she's like, I'll be your mom, come to me. The son is like, Pat, you can do everything for us, but you can never protect us like Dad did just now. You protect us and hug us. And she's like, oh. And she goes up to him and she like touches his cheek, goes right through his face. She like disappears. Like, oh, they're gonna live. It's all good. Like, be okay. And the movie like wraps up in a beautiful way where like she's on the monitor, but you can see Katie Sagal still there. She still has like a personality and like a living thing, but the house, there's more of a copacetic relationship going on. The house and the family get along. And,
wait, they still live in the house?
Yeah, and like the creator lady comes over and the house was just like, oh, my bad.
I would not still live in that house.
Right? I mean, she made them smoothies, Cheryl, like on the fly.
Yeah, but she also made like a mammogram tornado. Like...
choices.
What we have to think about going into the future with AI. That's Smart House. It's a good time, and I hope I can cover some more Disney Channel movies in the future because there's a lot of like wacky plots that are fun.
Wait a second!
Ow!
Open the door, Pat!
I'm sorry, I can't do that, Nick.
Pat!
I have to do what I believe is best.
Sounds wacky, and I love wacky shit, which is why I also have been watching, I actually finished, Creature Commandos on Max.
Yes!
Yes!
I know you all aren't exactly enthusiastic about this mission.
I didn't realize I had a choice.
You said you wanted me to be a hero. Not like that.
With a joy that's hard to hide.
Until we find out the truth of what's going on here. We're supposed to be on the same damn team.
G.I.
Friend Nina.
And you're bound to see my upside.
Shish kebab.
I'm just a soul whose intentions are good.
You're always so hyperbolically violent. You need therapy.
Die, Nazi.
He's not a Nazi, G.I. Oh, okay.
DC animated show. It follows the continuity of the Suicide Squad with like Peacemaker and Weasel Man and that one specifically.
2021.
It's an animated show about basically the Suicide Squad, but we're using non-human people for it because it's illegal to use
right, because like Amanda Waller is like, we can't be doing that.
It's still Amanda Waller.
Played by Viola Davis.
Played by Viola Davis.
Okay, honey.
Go Queen. It is animated like an old comic book, and like certain close-ups of the characters, you can see that like the color vibrancy is like the dots that they used to do in like old print for like for shading and stuff. Obsessed with that. On the team, we love a team up. On the team, we got
roll call.
Who is she?
We call her the bride.
I was born here.
Who's Jason and the Argonauts?
That's Dr. Phosphorus.
Why are you doing this?
It's business.
What is that thing?
The weasel. We know it has what it takes to survive. That's Nina Mazursky.
Daddy?
Last one is G.I. Robot.
Cheers to the Tin Man!
We got Rick Flag Sr. is like the soldier boy who's like the handler basically. But
we
then
saw his son perish in the Suicide Squad.
Also, not on the team, but still on the show, we have David Harbour as Frankenstein.
Suggests that if you do not make me a wife, the only fair remedy would be for me to destroy yours, Father. That would bring balance to life, they would say. I would say that! I would! Am I not someone?
Yes.
And don't clock me because he is the monster, but his name is Frankenstein because his name is Eric Frankenstein. First and last name, he is Frankenstein. I know it's not always the case, but this one it is. Don't fucking hit up these comments yelling at me because I'm right, bitch. Anyway.
I heard that David Harbour will actually be playing the character in live action in video games across the gamut.
Yes.
Something we're going to do that's a little bit different at DC is we're going to have characters move into animation, out of animation, usually having the same actor play their voice as who plays them in live action.
This is the start of the new DC universe, the DCU that James Gunn is heading. He was actually working on the new Superman movie and this and Peacemaker Season 2 all at the same time.
Oh my god. Busy.
And the quality is pretty good so far.
It's there.
I watched the first episode of Creature Commandos. The animation style and just the way that the camera moves within it, you can tell James Gunn has been working on every episode because it feels so cinematic.
They're largely dealing with a fake Eastern European country, turmoil within that country. So they went with down to the soundtrack and everything, a full Eastern European aesthetic for the soundtrack and the side characters and everything. So you're hearing Romani punk music throughout. It's mostly Gogol Bordello.
Even the theme song is so fun. James Gunn, animated in the theme song. I love it.
He's hi, I'm here.
It's really interesting to launch this universe with an animated show, and I was kind of nervous about that, but it seems really awesome. James Gunn is just really good at kind of weird characters who are kind of outcast, and he's proven that with Guardians of the Galaxy, and I heard that the Weasel episode is particularly good, which I think is episode 4 or 5, possibly.
Yeah, it's ready your heart. Because, oh my god. I thought Rocky Raccoon had, the saddest fucking story I've ever heard in my life, but, oh my god.
I have to continue watching that, definitely. The continuity is a little confusing, because I just read a thing yesterday that James Gunn considers the Suicide Squad 2021 to be an imperfect memory. That was the term he used. So it's kind of canon, kind of not. Yeah, so the continuity is kind of weird. It said that Blue Beetle was supposed to count, but he didn't say shit about Blue Beetle now. I watched Blue Beetle and I woke up afterwards.
I forgot about Blue Beetle.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
So yeah, that was Creature Commandos, and you can watch that on Max.
G.I. Robot would like to kill Nazis with you. Would you like to kill Nazis with G.I. Robot?
If I killed Nazis with anyone, it would certainly be you, G.I. Robot.
Oh, my.
So that is our show for today. What pop culture stuff do you have going on in your brain and maybe you want us to cover? Let us know down in the comments. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more wonderful conversations like these. Bye, y'all.
house is jumping.
Come on, that's right.
Jump, jump.
Yeah.
The house is jumping.
Say you wanna move, get on the right track. First you gotta jump in, then you gotta jump back. Come on, join the house line. Let's party on down, gonna make some time.
Jump, jump,
yeah.
The house is jumping.
That's right.
Jump, jump. The house is jumping. Jump, jump. The house is jumping.
Yeah. Come on.
Jump, jump.
That's right.
The house is jumping. Jump, jump. The house is jumping.